Sitting by the waterfall, flying with the clouds. Crystals dancing in the sun. The colors are falling in my eyes. of light and pictures of darkness. Free like never before. Like a river in the rain. Oh, Father of the four winds,
What would you do if you weren't afraid?
take away my attention.
I don't know. It's a good question.
I did not betray you. I did not forsake you. The universe on a string, drifting in all directions. Free until the key finds the door. Free like never before.
That's me.
Children of life, gardens of life, go lonely inside. Children of life, gardens of life, diamonds in the miles. Children of life, gardens of life, go lonely inside. Children of light, gardens of light, diamonds in the night.
What's the point of the black wall? Such a different than everything else, right?
Yeah, it's nice, it's cool, it's not too trashed.
Those are like fun and like this looks serious.
Yeah, not today's one, but
Have a nice day.
have a nice day.
Bye. Enjoy.
Bye, enjoy also. Welcome to Gozo.
Yeah. Cool.
No hotels, just sleeping.
No. This is million stars hotel.
Yeah,
Oh, I
as long
love
as you've
it.
got
Very cool.
little blanket.
Yeah, exactly. Enjoy your day.
You too.
Bye. I won't be in Blue Lagoon. I will.
ده مش هيكون بلا ده هيكون بلا
لا ده هيجي Where this one for now only? If you're not coming here, like this I know about you
Perfect.
and I will let you know. No
Great.
worries.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Enjoy. Bye. Good day.
Thank you. Hello.
Good morning.
Hello. Can I ask when is the first ferry in the morning to Malta?
From Malta to here?
From here to Malta.
From here to Malta.
The first ferry in the
Fiex
morning.
inti ġintu?
احنا انت 7:30 نقبضوا لسه تصل
8 o'clock, 15 to 8.
8 from here to Malta. 8.
Or 15 minutes before.
Yeah,
Because the
perfect.
first one that comes brings the
Perfect.
colleagues and then it can take you back.
Great. Thank you very much. Bye. Good morning. I would like that orange one, please.
When you put your hand in my jacket, I'm thinking so irrational. You flew me international now. And we can spend hours reading the signals, but that's so unoriginal. What if we took this back to my house? Under all these lights, I gotta take a minute to calm down. But I feel like if I told you I was ready right this minute, do you think that it would turn you on? I just feel like you need to know. If I told you I was ready right this minute, would you just run off and tell someone? I just feel like you need to know. I don't wanna feel like we're wasting time. Tell me, should I go and call up a taxi? We can make out foreplay in the backseat. Please tell me now how that all sounds. You can sleep in while I make breakfast, watch cartoons and talk about exits. And if you're happy, stick around. I just feel like this is worth the risk. I never felt a fire like this. If I told you I was ready right this minute, do you think that it would turn you on? I just feel like you need to know. If I told you I was ready right this minute, would you just run off and tell someone? I just feel like you need to know. We're running out of things to talk about. Right here, right now, I'm about to let the truth come out. If I told you I was ready right this minute, do you think that it would turn you on? You tell me now. If I told you I was ready right this minute, would you just run off and tell someone? Keep my feet on right here. If I told you I was ready right this minute, I just wanna go and lay you down. I just feel like you need it's clear. If I told you I was ready right this minute, would you just run off and tell someone? I just feel like you need to know. If I told you I was ready right this minute, do you think that it would turn you on?
just finished hiking around Gozo, and Comino and Malta, 3 small islands. And actually Malta is very small, it's like 300 square kilometers only, which makes it a very small island. But on the other side, it's extremely dense when it comes to population, because they are living over 500,000 people here on those 3 teeny tiny islands. And it's the most dense island in Europe and one of the most dense in the world, actually. But it doesn't mean that there are not many Maltese people, because over 1 million of them, they are living abroad. Especially in 19th and 20th century, they were just migrating to other countries like Australia, USA, Canada and other countries, and they have whole communities there, they have own churches and everything. So small place, but a lot of people. Even in the history there were Romans, Normans, Knights, British, many nations living here, and not just living, conquering these islands. It was basically a battleground for 7,000 years, all these 3 islands. And everyone is talking about pyramids, but this is much older, this place, and not just this place, but the structures. They are temples and structures here which were built 3,600 years before Christ, which means way earlier than pyramids. And some of these structures, they weigh over 50 tons without any tools, without any machines, without metal. Nobody knows how they made it. It's similar to pyramids, but even older. And I think that people that they were thinking, or some still believe, that those were giants building them, and some of the area here, it's called actually giants. So even historically, this place is extremely interesting, but not everything is so pink here, because there is no natural source of drinkable water here. There are no lakes, no streams, no waterfalls, nothing like that. Despite thousands of years when people were living here. So they are relying mostly on desalting the water and filtering the water, which is very expensive and difficult thing, but they have no other choice, because really no lakes, no rivers, nothing like that is here on Malta or the other 2 islands, Gozo and Comino. This place, Malta and Gozo and Comino, they were the most bombed place in Europe during the World War. There were thousands of bombs dropped on these places, and Italians or Hitler, they all tried to conquer this place, and locals were fighting for their land and made it, barely, but they made it. So after the war, they were, the whole population, all people on Malta, they were given the cross for bravery. I think George's cross for bravery, and that's what's in the flag, the national flag of Malta. That's the cross for bravery of these people, because they fought off everyone and they were bombed from all sides, because this is a very strategic place. And very interesting island of these three, the smallest one, Comino. It has only 2 people living there permanently, 2 residents actually. And it's really tiny. It's like I walked around and it took me 9 kilometers, something like that. So it's a very teeny tiny island. But what's interesting is that they don't allow to build there anything commercial. There is basically a Blue Lagoon, which is the most famous Instagram place with that light blue color sea. Everyone goes there, and that's it. There are few stands where you can buy food or drinks on that place, and the rest of the island is empty. There are no schools. Until recently there were even no cars, but now there are a few. But no buildings, no structures. I walked around and there was one, it looked like a resort. Like they started to build a resort with many, apartments with views, but they discontinued that and left it. It looked like that to me. I don't know what was it, but it looked like a big resort which was stopped during the building process, and it's just there. But that's it. There are a few beaches and no infrastructure, no nothing. So it was quite unique experience for me, because during the day they are boats coming with tourists, and it's horrible in the Blue Lagoon. They are literally thousands of people. It's like a the most crowded place in the biggest city you can imagine. But they all leave around 6 p.m. There is the last ferry leaving, and I was sleeping on one of the beaches, and there was nobody, and it felt really, really good that they are 2 residents, and I don't know if somebody else stayed on that island. Maybe yes, maybe not, but it feels like suddenly thousands of people are gone and you are there alone, sleeping on the beach. That was absolutely amazing. I loved it a lot. But yeah, Comino is the smallest one, and despite the commercial companies trying to move there, and have their business there, the people here are always against it. So there are protests and everything, and so far they are successful. So it's a remote island without any, nothing except for those few stands in Blue Lagoon. And I don't know if it's a police station, but it looked like a building where policemen were standing around. But in the history, Comino was very important, because first they were using it as a place for smugglers, or to put bad people into jail, move them there, or pirates were using that island for conquering other places. They were jails. So in the history it was very bloody place. It was even used as a radar station later on. So it was important from a strategically from a strategic point of view. Gozo, on the other hand, it's bigger than Comino, way bigger, but smaller than Malta. So it's like a Malta's little brother. It's more green, but there are less resorts, less people in general. So it's very popular for hikers. There is a Gozo coastal walk, which was part of my hike actually, where you just walk around the coast, and it's around 50 kilometers. So it's very, very nice island with unique cliffs. Like these are also nice. Everything is nice, but those were very like sharp. And so there is less infrastructure, less people. It's calmer. Even locals from Malta are going there to chill, you know, to relax, because really Malta is much more busy. There are more roads, more cars, more people, more resorts. It's more fast-paced than Gozo. Gozo is calmer. One of the most interesting things here is Maltese language. It's like a Frankenstein, you know. It's a linguistic Frankenstein, literally, because it's a mixture of several languages. It's actually the only language in Europe which is based on Turkish language, and it sounds like, when you hear people talking here, it sounds like Turkish, but in reality it's 60% Turkish, and the rest is a mixture of English and Italian. So it's very interesting. It's very interesting to hear these people, because you feel like in Turkey when you listen to locals. But they have also English language, not national, but like mother language. In all those official places, English is also accepted. So that's actually really good here, that everybody speaks. It's their native language. Native language is that Maltesian and English. Everybody speaks English here. Just it's interesting that with you they speak English, and with themselves when they talk to each other they speak Maltese, like harabra harabra. Funny but nice. I like it. It feels different than in the rest of Europe. And also when you visit other countries in Europe, a part of UK, there is always different native language, you know, Spanish, German, Italian, Portuguese. So sometimes they don't speak English, but here everybody speaks. It's their native language also, English. So that's also very convenient that you can speak English to everyone, and they can talk back and they understand. And Gozo actually doesn't have that bright history. In 1555, there was a raid on the island, and basically all the people were captured. And it's like overnight, the island was emptied. 6,000 people were captured, and it was emptied overnight, basically. And it took 100 years to repopulate back. And this violent nature and this violent history, it's connected to all the islands here because of the strategical place. And maybe for that reason, it's so popular for filmmakers. There were many famous movies shot here, like Gladiator, Games of Thrones, Troy. I've never seen any of them, but apparently they are famous. And there is even a village here, Poppy's village, which is a stage set. The whole village is basically a stage set for movies. And no wonder, with these beautiful views and with these beautiful cliffs, not wondering that filmmakers come here to shoot their movies. So let's leave the history and let's talk about the hiking, because that's why I was here, when I'm still here. And that's hiking these 3 islands. I'm here in June, which was a very bad decision. I will talk about it later. Because the weather, now it's like 6 a.m. It's hot, it's ridiculously hot already. During the day it's basically constantly 30 degrees, not a single cloud on the sky, very little shadow on those trails, so it's hot and dry here and sunny, which is nice for tourists. When you go to beaches and short walks, it's absolutely amazing weather. But for hiking, it was a nemesis for me. I got burned, and you need to drink so much. I drank like 5-6 liters per day, and it still wasn't enough because my pee was dark yellow all the time. So the weather here in June and July, August definitely too, it will be even worse. It's extremely hot, extremely dry. There is only, in average, during the June, there is only 1 rainy day, 1 per month. And in average there is like a short shower. There is literally no rain in the summer here. So for hiking it's very difficult, and it will make it much harder for you. So I made the wrong decision. Don't do it too. Don't make that one too. I would recommend maybe March, April, May the latest, but probably May would be already too much too. On the other hand, the other months, the earlier months, there would be definitely more rain here. And I could sleep. I didn't take a sleep tent even. I was just sleeping under the stars, and I was guaranteed that there will be no rain. On the other hand, even the nights are very hot here now. It was 20-22 degrees during the night. So first I was sleeping in the bivouac bag because I was thinking that it's very thin and it would be better, but actually it trapped the moisture inside and I was wet even more. So then I switched for a sleeping bag, which I zipped out completely, and I used it as a cover, which was way better, but still hot, you are still hot. It's when it's 22 degrees. And I always wear these things because I could be sweaty, and so I don't want to make the sleeping bag oily, so I'm using this. It's always very hot. And another thing is it's extremely humid during the night, and there is a lot of moisture in the morning, which means high condensation, which means that in the morning, even when it's this hot, you are soaked wet. And especially on Comino, that was I've never experienced anything like that before. During hiking, I woke up and it was soaked. All my things were soaked, like after heavy rain. Because I was sleeping on the beach, it was a cove, there was no wind. So everything was soaked. I guess tent would save you from this, but it makes no sense for me to set up a tent when it's nice and warm, and especially when it's forbidden, all around all Malta, all these 3 islands, it's forbidden wild camping. And I was bivouacking, which is just sleeping under the stars, and nobody had a problem with it. Even in Comino, which is natural reserve, I was publicly sleeping on the beach, and there were many people seeing me there, even the local police. And they just smiled and wished me good night. And people here, I was always thinking, or always saying, that Greeks are the most kind people, and the most nicest people, and most positive people. And they are very nice. It's Spanish, like everywhere you travel, you meet nice people, but Greeks were special for me. But Maltese, they are awesome. I met many people, and I liked to talk to many people, to many locals on Gozo, Comino, and here on Malta. Everyone was exceptionally nice and friendly and kind and giving advices and helping. Once I was passing a beach and there was a party and I wanted to buy a drink because I was walking like 10 kilometers on the coast, totally exhausted, without water. So I wanted to buy some drink, and they didn't receive cash, probably because there was no signal. No, they didn't receive card payment, because there was no signal. They received only cash, and I had no cash, so I said, sorry, I don't have cash, so thank you. I'm just going farther to another village, a few more kilometers. And the guy was like, are you crazy? And he just gave me Sprite with ice. Here you are. And he didn't want anything for that. So really, people here are exceptionally kind. And I think this is one of the best things to look for on hikes and everywhere. I will definitely make a separate video about meeting people on hikes, because it becomes a thing for me, and it just makes me happy to talk with nice people, to hear nice stories, to share stories. So here, absolutely amazing people. But back to the weather. Now in June it's hot, as I said, and also what's really good is that the days are really long. After 5 it's already bright. Around 6 it's hot. It's 24 degrees. So it drags you out of sleeping bag. The temperature and the sun always drags you from the sleeping bag. And it gets, the sunset is late, before 9. So you have a very huge window for hiking. And I like this a lot, because when you get up before 6 and you leave at 6, you have basically 15 hours for hiking, which means that you don't have to just walk more. You can stop more, you can chill more, you can take yourself for lunches and not be in a hurry. If you hike in other places or in different months, you have, for example, 8 hours long window for hiking. Here it's 15, it's basically double, which was extremely convenient, and I liked it a lot. So trails, there are many official trails. Like I said, in Gozo, it's that Gozo coastal hike around the island. And there are many here on Malta, and I think there is no trail on Comino. And those trails are marked really well. Usually there are no signs here, actually. I just realized that there are no signs. Usually when you are hiking trails, you are used to see signs, and arrows and the names of places where you are heading, or names of trails, or colors, yellow color or whatever. But here, no, they are little red dots, sprayed dots, which is different than any other place hiking trail in Europe. But it also means that it's much easier for them to mark the trails, which also means that the trail marks are much more dense. So sometimes they are 5 meters from each other, 10 meters from each other, like literally you see from one to another one, which is amazing. You can't get lost on those marked trails. On the other hand, I was hiking not only on marked trails, but also on local paths, which are in the maps. And those are not marked in any way, so you just have to hold your phone and go, by the dashed line, by your map. That was more difficult. I got lost several times, but usually not that much. I just went maybe 200 meters farther, and then I realized this is weird. There is no more path here, so I just went back. But there are many variants and options for hiking here. I don't think I met any hiker. I don't think so. No hiker, many tourists with daily backpacks, but not like a hiker who is going with a big backpack for several days or for longer distances. They were smarter than me, definitely. And they came here earlier in different months or later in the autumn. That's probably the reason why I haven't seen a single hiker, because they weren't stupid as I am to come at this weather. What's not that convenient is that a lot of the land here is private, actually. So there are signs, private, everywhere. Everywhere you go, there is a private sign. And cross, no trespassing, stop, and things like that. Sometimes they go farther and they put a message, beware of dogs, or I saw messages, don't go farther because they are bees and they will sting you because they are protecting their hives. Or messages, CCTVs, cameras and stuff like that. It's not there. Those hives are not there, those cameras are not there, I checked. But they are just trying to keep you out of their property. So sometimes it can happen, actually, that you want to go somewhere, you look on the map and you want to go somewhere through some path, and you can't because it's private. I heard stories from people who were hiking Malta that they were kicked out, that people were locals, they were rude to them and they just sent them back or whatever. I haven't had this experience. I crossed private land once and I just apologized and I said sorry, and he said all right, so it wasn't a problem. Once actually the path, the trail was heading through a house, I don't mean like a room, but through a house, through a garage, basically, through a garage. And there were no signs, just in the map I could see that it's going through the house, and it was like, I was just going back and forth, trying to find some path or whatever, and couldn't find it. And there was a local guy smoking next to that house, and he said, it's going through this garage, through this house, go and ask the owner. So I went and asked the owner if I can just pass their garage, because I wanted to go uphill, and they were sure, no problem. And so I think that most of the land here has the owner, and you have to be careful. You don't want to trespass or go to others people's lands. Well, transport. To get here you take an airplane, that's obvious. And for Malta it's easy. It's not that big actually, so you can just walk. I was walking northwest coast actually. And that's not a problem. If you want to go to Gozo or to Comino, they are small islands, there are no airplanes, airports, nothing like that. So you have to take a ferry. In the capital here in Malta, Valletta, there is a huge dock, and you can take a ferry from there. It's going basically every hour, even around midnight there is one. So it's easy to get there. It costs €7, and you get to Malta, to Gozo, from Malta to Gozo. And to Comino you also have to take a ferry, either from Gozo or from Malta. A ferry between those small islands, by those small ferries, they are more expensive. They cost €10+. So for like few kilometers or for 10 minutes ride, you pay over €10. And for 40 minutes ride, the long one from Malta, you pay 7, and you are going by a huge boat. But it's not a complaint, just comparing that it makes no sense. On the other hand, you just can take a ferry anywhere. There are 2 docks in Gozo, 2 docks in Comino, and 2 docks on Malta. And you can take ferry between those. When I was trying to get back from Comino, in the morning, the first ferry was going at 9 or after 9, and I didn't want to wait, and I asked the guy who brought some stuff to the island, and he took me with him on the small boat back to Malta. His name is Pedro, and he was totally chill guy, singing all the time, and took me over like a course to show me those cliffs and places where those famous movies were shot. It was interesting and very nice guy. I like meeting people here. So by that you can use a ferry, and around the islands there is Bolt, Uber, there are buses around. You can hitchhike, so no problem. I was using Bolt for going from the airport to ferry because I was in a hurry. It was like 10 euros, and now I'm getting a Bolt again to get to accommodation. It's literally 6-7 euros, so it's cheap here, and they pick you up where you want and take you where you want. So if you don't want to walk, it makes sense. And many tourists are using Bolt and Uber here, but I saw many buses too around the island, and bus stops, not bus stations, but bus stops. I was walking around or over 20 kilometers per day. It was extremely tiring. It wasn't difficult. These trails here are not difficult at all. The elevation on paper is bigger than it feels like. For example, on Gozo, the first day I hiked around 30 or over 30 kilometers, and there was a 1,500 meters of elevation gain and elevation loss, which on paper sounds like a lot, and in mountains it's a lot, but for some reason it didn't feel that much because it was stretched to those 30 kilometers. So I was walking usually over 20, something like that, and I could walk that much. Yeah, these, I don't know if you can hear that, but they are like shots here all the time. It's like celebrations or something all days here. So you could walk really long. There is no problem to walk 30 kilometers, over 30 kilometers if you want. On some parts there is very little elevation, just your worst enemy is the heat, and because on some places there is nowhere to hide, it's extremely exhausting to walk in it. Restocking is actually easy. It's well populated. All those islands have places. On Comino there is just 1 or 2 places where you can buy drinks and food. On Gozo it's every 7-10 kilometers the most, I think, but sometimes even every few kilometers there is either a village or some stand where you can buy some food or drinks, and you need to buy a lot of drinks because in this heat you sweat so much and it's tiring. So I recommend you to carry at least 2-3 liters with you all the time and just drink a lot to not get exhausted. But restocking was very easy. What I didn't like is that some restaurants in Google Maps or on the internet in general, they have those opening hours and you come there and there is nobody and it's closed. And sometimes I was walking like 3 kilometers extra to some place to get lunch, and I was hungry and I was just looking for getting lunch and it was closed. And in one town there were like, 6-7 restaurants marked in the map, and half of them were marked that they are open. No, they were closed. No luck. So be careful, take good food or good amount of food with you and a lot of water with you, definitely. With signal, it's with mobile signal, it's hit and miss. On some places there is not, especially on Gozo. In Malta, on Malta there is no problem. On Comino I think also no problems, but on Gozo there were places where I didn't have any signal for really long, like half a day for example. but in towns and cities always there was signal, so no problems, no issue with that. Important things to take into consideration is that they use British plugs to the electricity, so take an adapter with you, otherwise you can't charge your equipment. The European plug doesn't work here. They have, I think it's type G, and that's a British one, so you can buy a little adapter for €3 and use it, and you plug your charger into that. Also, they are driving on the left side of the road, which feels very, very confusing when you are walking on roads. Then suddenly you are used to walk on one side, now you have to walk on the other side, and the cars are coming from different side. It feels really weird, and I was confused all the time, and especially on roundabouts. I don't know why, but on roundabouts it feels so wrong. I didn't know which side I should walk, where I should walk, how cars were coming from weird directions. It's like in Britain, yeah. What's interesting is here that there are 1,200 species of different plants and flora. The flora here is very rich and green, and there are many nice flowers, and I like it here. I like this part of the island. Especially on Gozo, there are nice green parts with many plants. There are also many animals living here. You all the time hear birds chirping, which is amazing. It feels so nice, the birds chirping. You see lizards every few meters. There is a lizard running around, and what I was surprised of the most was that some of them are really, really huge. And by like big normal lizards, our lizards, we are used to 10 centimeters lizards, and they are here everywhere. But they are also way, way bigger lizards, and by way, way bigger, I mean extra large, and by extra large, I mean huge, and by huge, I mean, okay, like this big, like 40 centimeters. Big lizards, but really, really big ones, and sometimes they are hunting those small lizards. So I saw few of those huge lizards here, and rabbits and other animals. I don't know how they live here in this heat, but apparently they do, and they are happy without water and no forests. You know, there are no forests here. Literally zero forests on Malta, Gozo and Comino. Just a few trees here and there, and that's it. And one thing I want to talk about, and those are mosquitoes. I don't know how it's in different months of the year, but now when after the sunset they come out of these green little teeny tiny bushes, and they just don't leave you for like at least 1 hour. Use repellent, take repellent with you and just put it all over you, because otherwise, if you want to sleep under the stars, they will eat you up. There are swarms of mosquitoes coming out after the sunset, and they leave usually in 1-2 hours. They leave. They have very short feeding window, so they stay for 1-2 hours and they leave. And a little bit in the morning, few of them in the morning, but that's not an issue. But in the evening, it is an issue. And even when I used repellent, every time I could get bitten like dozens of times every day. And the worst was Comino, actually. In Comino, they didn't leave. They were there the whole night. So I was soaked wet from the condensation, but also bitten by those mosquitoes the whole night. I couldn't sleep at all. It was such a beautiful place, such a beautiful beach, nobody nowhere. Peaceful, nice, sounds of waves, but those mosquitoes were crazy. So be prepared for those mosquitoes. Definitely take a repellent for those and use it before they come. Because when you start spraying yourself or you start searching for it in your backpack and they are already biting you, it's crazy. And obviously also the sunscreen, you need sunscreen. You would get burned after a few hours on this heat, on this sun, without sunscreen. If I would compare this hike around Malta, Gozo and Comino to other places I've visited or other hikes, there is something from Crete. There are those bays, and some of those beaches are like in Croatia. They are very similar to Croatian places. There was something from Fisherman's Trail, definitely. There was something from Corfu. So it's similar to those. If you liked Fisherman's Trail or Crete, you probably would like this. You would like Malta, hiking around Malta. So if you are interested in hiking the same trails or paths which I hiked, there is a map in the description of the video. There is a general hike I made. And if you want detailed maps, it's in the members section on YouTube actually. And I marked there everything. My specific daily routes, camping spots, even those camping spots which I haven't used, but they looked like a good place to sleep, so I marked them in the map. I marked tricky sections there and explained what you should do, where you should go, for example, through that house or that garage. I marked toilets, shops, restaurants, all those viewpoints and caves and all those interesting places. Oh, and one thing I forgot to mention, on the west part of Gozo, there is a zip line over like a bay, over sea. Really, really nice place. I just wanted to do that so much, but they were booked out, and the guy said they are booked out several days ahead. So I highly recommend to book your zipline ride on Gozo if you are coming here, when you are coming here, because it's awesome. Those people, you could see them like they are just zipping over, I don't know how much, 200 meters over the sea. Book it ahead. Otherwise, they won't take you. I tried to negotiate, but nope, didn't work for them. You just have to book it earlier. And also in that member sections, you'll find maps, very detailed maps with all those things from all my previous hikes and from my future hikes. Full albums, always like 300 plus pictures, photos from these places and other content. So check it out if you want to see more, to know more about these hikes. So my next plans, apart for the road trip, summer road trip in the autumn, I would like to visit another Greek island, like Karpathos, Zakynthos, Rhodos maybe. There are many. I planned hikes over like 15 Greek islands. So probably will choose one of those. I just love sun and swimming and beaches and everything. So until that, see you on another hike.